So I've been, looking at the evidence, looking at the case. So I basically want to ask Suarez about whether or not he saw you selling any drugs, whether or not the suspicious activity call that he was answering is, you know, indicative of drugs or if it's something else. Then I'm going to hit the delivery list. Does it have your name on it? Does it say you're delivering drugs? Does it say you're getting paid in drugs?
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. I was wondering though if we should put you on the stand to say you weren't selling drugs. So there's pros and cons. So pros would be you could get up there, you could say you were doing something else in the area, and but they're probably you don't have any drugs on you. You just have the list and the dirty money. You didn't have like you just had like personal use amount of oxy.
Mm-hmm.
So we could say you were doing something else, but the question becomes, what could we say you were doing that, you had the dirty money on you, but no drugs?
Well, the thing is, dirty money doesn't equate to drugs. It's just
No, it doesn't. But
because I
they're
give dirty money
surmising
to
that
my
it does.
locals.
So
Because you give dirty money to your locals, right? And then they sell it for you. So yeah, I think I did say that I was in the area and somebody one of my friends of mine my car broke down and a friend of mine gave me the car to drive back to my compound with. But
okay.
we can say that, yeah. I'm the whole thing is like there's too much reasonable doubt to just put these kind of charges on, right? Like you said, if you do put me on the stand, then it becomes, well, what were you doing? Me not on the stand, there's like reasonable doubt on what could he have been doing, right?
Right. So,
Waterloo, what's
because he
up?
didn't witness you selling any drugs, because there weren't any packages on you, because there weren't any, baggies of weed or baggies of meth or anything on you, we can definitely argue that, the things that they're saying amount to drug sales are circumstantial because he didn't see you selling any drugs. The problem is, though, if we put you on the stand to say you were doing something else, they could ask you, things like, well, who was the friend that came to pick you up? Which I'm guessing, A, they didn't get caught, and B, you wouldn't want to snitch.
Mm-hmm.
So, there are risks to putting you on the stand.
And also with the suspicious call, uh it's his job to investigate, not pull over the car, because they're gonna say, oh well, why did he run? Well, they pulled over the car with guns out. Suarez has a history of just shooting people, so I've been shot from him pretty much a lot in the past, so I was scared for my life. I'd rather run than.
Mhm.
But I have dirty money on me right now. Like I always have like stuff on me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The problem is, though, they're going to argue that it was a lot of dirty money. Um, And so I was thinking, maybe you could just say, you were moving it because you've already been charged. You're pleading guilty to the dirty money. So,
exactly.
maybe you could say you were moving it. But then if we say that, they're going to ask, well, where were you moving it from? Where were you moving it to? And then, that could get dicey because,
Who's on radio?
you don't necessarily want
I
to
am
admit
Zolo.
anything that
You're the only one?
you don't want to admit anything
I'm
that
on
could
it too,
get
Miss
them
Owner.
to, look into you further, or if you say you're moving it
With
from
Rami now,
one
there's
place,
a
they're going
case
to ask you
against
where that
Pred that
one place
might
was.
get him off of
And
this.
if it's a warehouse, you don't want to give that up. And if it's
Well, can
going to a warehouse,
Really?
you don't want to give that up.
can I say I was moving it from my locals to another local? You know. Well,
I mean,
yeah.
is
I don't
that
want to
is
give too
that
much
is that
information.
how dirty money works? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, you could like take it off the local, and like sometimes I'll take the dirty money off the local because someone else wants to use the local.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't feel like I have to go into detail. I could just the dirt. Like you said, I had dirty money on me. Yes, guilty, but that doesn't mean I was selling drugs. You know, it's just for them to equate to drugs of sales from finding no drugs, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I assume that, they're going to be like, well, the delivery list, we know from experience, we know that that's, selling drugs. And it's like, yes, but if you didn't see him doing that, then he's been charged for having the list and that's all you've got.
Well, you get delivery list for doing a dodo. You get there's other things that you can do with a delivery list. They can't just say one thing fits all. That's the problem with these cops. They don't want to experience around it. They're just like, oh, delivery list, it means oxy. It's like, well, no, it doesn't. It can mean anything. That's why the delivery list is encrypted, you know? You got to go see a guy with the delivery list, and then he sees the delivery list, and then he tells you the locations once you see the guy. It's not, the locations are not on the delivery list.
Right. But I mean, can you get delivery lists in this city that aren't for drug sales? I mean, I know Dodo gives people jobs, but I don't think they actually get a delivery list.
Yeah. But that's when it gets that's when it starts to get a little
Dicey.
Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
it's like kind of saying, well, you know, it's like one cop, right? I got crypto one time with crypto you can buy a meth table. And he was like, oh, I seen in his account he bought 1,500 crypto. That means he bought a meth table. Like, that's why there's crypto. It's encrypted. Like, it doesn't show, there's no traces. Like, you're not necessarily supposed to be like, I know he bought a crypto table. Like, you know what I mean? Like, crypto could have went anywhere.
Yeah.
So
it's about arguing like mechanics, you know?
Oh, see, you said it. Yeah, exactly. That's where they become like, is it just a mechanic thing? Then, all right, well, then there's no way of me like, experiencing myself out of it where I could say, hey, I'm an Uber driver. I work for Uber Eats. This is this and this. Oh, whose car is this? Oh, this is my boss's car. No, it's not. I know it's stolen. It's blah, 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 blah. It doesn't want, it's just like, what, like, which one do you want at this point? Do you want experience or you want mechanics?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I'm debating towards not having you on the stand just because I don't want them to be able to ask you questions that could, make you give up, any friends, any locations, anything like that, that would, compromise you further or lead to future charges, things like that. So I think we're probably better off
Beastie,
not,
what's up? Being on stand, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I just think that it's better to put in reasonable doubt that, they didn't see you selling the drugs. So having the list, yes, that's illegal. You've been charged for that. You pled guilty to that. Having the money is illegal. Yes, you know that. You pled guilty to that. But,
but the
if they didn't see you selling the drugs, then
yeah, the drugs and sales I really want gone. But even the money, like I have 16K on me right now. Like it's just because I had 20K or whatever, they're saying, oh, like they like people walk around.
Well, I mean, I'm not focusing on the legal money. I'm focusing on the bags.
Oh, the dirty money.
Had.
Got you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not illegal to have a large amount of cash, but the fact that you didn't have any boxes on you for delivery, you didn't have any things that would indicate that you were going to go cornering, etc. The sale of drugs, I feel that they really can't prove beyond a reasonable doubt
and
that you were actively doing that.
Wouldn't it, like the whole purpose of them coming there was, oh, they got a suspicious call and they say, oh, it's a seller of drugs, because that's what the guy said. I'm like, how do you get a suspicious call of seller of drugs? It's a suspicious call. So
this shit's crazy.
The whole purpose of the call and them coming, wouldn't that void everything else initially? Like, say they found guns and stuff on me, but the whole initial purpose is like out of bad faith anyways, no? Like the poisonous tree or something like that.
No, because I mean they're allowed to investigate
at the very end, but their plans were
that they saw
found
this
out,
vehicle
so they didn't
leaving
get to
the
do
area, and
there's way more
automatically
evidence on
assumed
Pred
that
potentially
you
bombing
were the
fast
reason for
than
the call
anyone
instead of
else.
actually proceeding to the area and looking around to
Well,
see if
and that's the
the
thing. I
call was
don't know
about
why
something
they're not going for
else.
Pred. Like they have the motive
Yeah.
all
So
laid
they're
out in that
saying, you know,
footage.
he's
If you
saying
want to
that
pull it
he
up
was
and
headed
look,
to that
it
area. He
shows
saw the black stratum
Pred has
leaving
bought
the area.
explosives. He's
He
said he's
decided
going to
that
do
that
stuff.
was
He's
the
told people
person
about his
he
plans,
got the
but
call
then
about
it just
and
ends there
pursued
saying, "Oh,
you.
well, his plan was found
But
out, so it
he
definitely
didn't
wasn't him that
actually
bombed
go
fast." But like,
to, you
it
know,
very
the
well could have
location.
been.
He didn't look around
Yeah.
any further.
And
He
went
just
straight
assumed it
into
was you.
a felony stop, by the way, too.
Yeah.
So, and if they say, why did I run? I ran out of fear because
Criminal
of
use
this
of
guy's
explosive,
history
2
of being
years
a
in, and
abusive
bullshit
cop.
charge.
So did you
Yeah,
actually
attempted
get pulled
murder,
over
I
and
think, is
then
on
run,
there
or did
too,
you
Yeah.
just guys keep
I don't know
going?
what
I
the
got
evidence
pulled
looks like
over
for
and
Robin's case,
I
but
was like, "What's going on?"
he
And
sent
then
it to me,
he
so I'm gonna
didn't say
comb through it,
anything,
but it
stayed in the
sounds
car,
like,
waited till
right off
another
the
car
rip, that
pulled
there's
up,
way more
and then they
evidence
came
on
out with
Red than there is
guns
on Rami or Miguel.
automatically. Like it wasn't
Okay.
like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And then I was saying some
Wrong,
shit, and
so
it was
don't
like,
get
"All
your
right, do you
hopes
mind
up,
stepping
but
on the car?"
I'll look through the evidence and I'll let you guys know in
It
a
was
bit.
automatic, pulled over, didn't say anything. Wait till another cop came, and then felony right away. 0 to
Okay.
100.
Okay, because he doesn't mention anything in there about the felony stop.
That's what I noticed too. I was like, that's kind of very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So, he also doesn't mention that they pulled you over at any point. He just says that they pursued you.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, and this is why, as little as this is, and it was like like close to 2 months ago, why I feel like this, I had to fight this because maybe it will change something on the way these guys behave, because they just they lie in their reports, and it's just like, all right, did the time, who cares, take it to court, I don't give a damn, sue me, blah blah blah. Like it's that's their attitude. Like there's no repercussions for these cops or nothing like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking I might put you up on the stand and not talk about the list or anything. Just talk about the felony stop,
Okay.
because they didn't mention it in here, and I think it's going to provide some context as to, you know, why you ran, and because yeah, I didn't even know about the fact that they stopped you, you know, for the felony stop and everything. So
Yeah, it just looks like I was he came to the area and I was fleeing, like I was automatically guilty.
right, right. But yes, if you know, if he pulled you over for a felony stop, you know, I'm going to ask if it was, you know, so was he, you know, answering the suspicious call, or was he, you know, responding to a stolen vehicle? And, you know, if he was responding to a stolen vehicle, then, you know, how does that equate into sale of drugs?
Exactly.
But yeah, I definitely think that, you know, calling him out on not putting the felony stop in and all of that, I think that that's going to, you know, give less credibility to his side of the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so okay, so do you remember where the felony stop happened?
Yeah, it was by the Maze Bank Arena, like right there. On
Okay.
let me be precise right now. Hold on. And I'm trying to think. Okay, we're in Little Soul.
Yeah, we're by Uwu right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't. I'm like really shitty with these maps. Oh, Maze Bank Arena. So it was on Auto Parkway, I guess, next to Davis Avenue. I don't even know how to say that. Autotopia, or Utopia Parkway. Sorry. Utopia.
Okay.
You see it right behind Grove Street.
Yeah. Okay.
Utopia. Am I saying it right? Davis and
Yeah, I
Utopia.
see you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So right there, it was right. It's literally right there.
All right. So like where Davis and Autopia meet, or
Yes, exactly. Like, so I was on Utopia and then, but I was right there at that intersection. That's when he pulled me over.
okay.
And you gotta ask him, where did he get the seller drugs call? Because I was at the intersection pulling out, making a right.
Yeah, because the call just says suspicious activity. It doesn't specify that it's drugs, but that may be something that they know that a suspicious is always drugs. I'm not sure.
Isn't that again mechanics? Because
I mean,
a cop,
possibly, yeah.
I know, like I talked to a really good cop, and she's just left the force, but she was on a drug force. She was like, listen, when you get a suspicious activity, you have to go there and it's a suspicious call. It doesn't mean it's a drug call. It could be anything. So you go there and you investigate. If there's drugs, you have to take a picture and see the handover, the passover. So you hide in a spot, you look at the location. You don't pull up and blow the spot, because you have to see the passover for them to say sale of drugs. They have to see you handing off the drugs to someone else, and there has to be a picture. Could a cop say, yeah, he witnessed it? That sometimes they do, but he clearly wasn't even there if he was just pulling up to the scene. Like, you know what I mean? He literally just pulled up to the scene. So, and I was already leaving about to turn right on Davis, so he didn't even see anything. So it was all assumptions, and that's it.
Okay, so let's see. All right, so I'm going to ask him if
I like this lawyer. She's really dope.
If he ever, if he pulled over the stratum. If he says yes, I'm going to ask him what street it was on. I ask him why he stopped the vehicle.
Yeah, where was the call from? Where was the vehicle coming from? Where was he when he got the call? So it just kind of, avoids like where he said, because basically we just want to prove that he didn't witness any sale of drugs. If he goes up there and lies, he's coming from there. He witnessed the sale of drugs from a suspicious call? Like, that doesn't, he still got to,
Yeah.
It's Friday on. Slickers in my cup. Boom.
All right, I'm going to ask him what happened when he pulled over the vehicle. Did he tell you did he say anything before they came out with the guns and everything?
Not a word.
Not a word. Okay, so they just came out guns blazing.
He pulled me over, and I said, "Is everything okay, officer? Is everything okay?" He might have said, "Just wait right there" or something, and then like within 2 minutes, another cop pulled up, and then that's when I thought they got the wrong car. I was so confused. I was like, I was like, "Yo, I think you got the wrong person," because I'm like, because okay, let's be honest, I was doing some drug shit, but it was way on the other side of the street, so I was like, oh, I think they might have, I was in a stratum, so I'm like, maybe they think, something. Like, I was like, maybe, I honestly, in my mind at that time, I thought they had the wrong person. And I thought they thought, like, maybe it was the same stratum as, like, a bank or something that just happened, because, sometimes they get confused. Because I was like, there's no way he's doing a felony stop, and there's nothing,
Yeah. So just to walk me through it one last time. So you were on Autopia. You were about to turn on to Davis.
Correct.
He pulls up behind you, pulls you over. Does he say anything on the megaphone, or does he just have lights and sirens behind you and wait for you to pull over?
No, it doesn't say anything on megaphone. Just he flips around. I pull over, because I comply. Because at that time, I'm like, there's nothing that I have really on me that they can get me for. So maybe they have the wrong person, and then 2 minutes later another cop comes up, and then they both hop out with guns and say, get out the car. And I say, for what? Oh, just back up, come out the car, and we'll tell you. I'm like, bro, like, I'll take my chances.
Okay, and then you said you've had experience with Suarez before, correct?
Yeah, this guy shot me. He doesn't really talk that much, you know. He's almost like he's almost like dealing with like a Southside gangbanger, to be fair. So you kind of know what you're getting with him. It's 0 to 100, fair play, you know. So that's just gonna make me want to run, or you know.
All right. So yeah, I definitely want to put you up on the stand and just talk about the felony stop. I don't want to talk about the money. I don't want to talk about the drugs. And so I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you, when he pulled you over, did you comply? Yes. I'm going to ask if he got out, if he got out right away to come talk to you. You're going to say no. He waited like 2 minutes for another car to arrive. I'm going to ask you what happened when he approached you. You're going to say that he and the other officers came out with guns blazing, telling you
so fishy.
To get out of the car. Did you say anything to him before you took off?
I must have said, why are you pulling me over? I think you have the wrong guy. Like, what's going on? Calm down. Like, chill. Like, why you guys pointing guns? And then, you know, I was like, this guy's probably most likely gonna shoot me, so I dipped.
Okay. What were the circumstances of the time he shot you before?
Just little stuff like one time he said I pitted him at like 60, and he said I pitted him over 100. He shot me. A couple times he just pulled up and just been in a situation. He shot me a couple times. That's why. So I don't really like Suarez, to be fair, you know. You know, a lot of these cops is dying, you know. I can't wait till his name, you know, gets put on a toe tag. But nevertheless, you know, yeah, he's a very aggressive cop. So I'm sure like the judge in that is not that wouldn't be surprising to the judge, hearing how he is. Yo, Hex, what's going on? Rob, what's going on? Bro, I don't even know my lawyer's name, bro.
All right. Sorry. I was just texting whoever it was that was calling me that
It's all
I
good.
can't talk right now. Okay.
I have to riz my lawyer's chat.
So
I'm joking.
how many times would you say he's shot you before in altercations?
Like 4 or 5 in like in a 2-week span. Like unarmed type shit. He's done that before. Like, yeah.
You just had to hit that wall.
So yeah, so I want you to really, on the stand, I really want you to play up that, you know, you've had altercations with him before, you've been shot by him before, when you were unarmed, you just, you know, you didn't want to take the chance of getting shot again by him for no reason, and that's why you ran.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna milk this, trust me.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, so I'm not going to talk about what you were doing there or anything. You know, I'm just going to focus on the felony stop. If they do ask what you were doing, I want in the area at the time or whatever, I want you to just be like, you know, yo, it was like a month and a half ago. I don't even remember, but damn, do I remember, you know, feeling afraid for my life when he pulled me over.
Yo, Kenny, I like that. How many days were it last week? That's really
all right.
I like that. All right, let's do it. So
right,
half an hour?
Sounds good. Yep, half an hour.
All right, I appreciate. I like you. You take your job very serious. I appreciate that.
I do, and I want to do the best that I can for everybody. But you know, Just so you know, there are no guarantees.
Oh
going
no,
into
for sure.
this,
It's just the point, you know. That's the whole thing. It's the
Yeah.
point.